Welcome to episode 34, Getting Our Podcast. Anthony here. It is 2 weeks to Christmas, and the kids are getting excited. Elf on the Shelf is at full-time work for the next 2 more weeks. And yeah, it's been a fun hype to Christmas. The tree's up, the lights are on, the presents are under the tree. Done all my shopping a bit early. It's a bit chaos. I like to do my shopping months earlier so I can just lead up to Christmas with work and get it over and done with and have to overthink things. Everyone works differently. Hope it's a good lead up to Christmas and you're enjoying the company of loved ones, yourself, or whoever. You know, sometimes people have to bury down in the work and get the job done. I honestly had something else recorded at the beginning of an episode, but I deleted it. I was originally talking about how to manage your time while your kids are on holidays while working full time. But I was going on the basis of my job as a standard full-time job. I'm in sales. I'm account manager for a pump company, and I work standard hours pretty much, or a little bit various hours due to commitments I have with the family. But I was listening to the radio, and you know, there's a broader environment out there. There is nurses, truckies, FIFO workers who listen to this, doctors, Safeway workers, Woolworths, that work night fill. There is so many different occupations out there that take their kids out camping or go out camping themselves and have to sync calendars with all their friends and family to go, yet alone go with their own 2 kids or kid or themselves. It's so freaking hard. Like me to do a boys trip with my mates, and we all sort of have the similar roles at work, or like similar hours, should I say. And just to, sink that in is a pain in the ass sometimes. And I was going to give tips of how to get through the school holidays with the kids at home, but not many people have the likes of parents to help, or, or family, uncles, aunties, or whatever. To be a teacher and work from home, to be home with the kids during the school holidays would be pretty cool. But there is, during work times, it is harder to go away during non-school holiday times because the commitment to work. I understand. And same with nurses. There's times where there's probably an emergency or Christmas time where the demand is so high that they're working double shifts and have to book 3 months in advance. And I guess, that does lead to the thing of booking in holidays in advance is probably the best thing you need to do. And then you got the likes of, single dads and mums that want to take the kids camping. They've got 2 nights to do it, and campsites don't allow you to have 2 nights. They make you have a minimum of 3. And, we're not talking powered site at $25 to $40 anymore. We're talking powered sites at nearly $90 to $105, which is a freaking joke. And if you're booking those 2 nights and you have to pay for 3, then, it is north. So it's the reality of the world is that people are doing different things and have different schedules to earn a crust, and to fit in a trip in summer with the cost of living and the limited time, because not everyone has 2 weeks off for Christmas. I was going to give a bit of advice, but I've sort of have to change it because, while you're watching the news and you're watching, politicians spending $100,000 on return flights to New York to pledge stuff to people overseas who don't care, or spending all our taxpayer money on all junkets and stuff, and you get frustrated. But at the end of the day, like, we hear it, we get frustrated and move on. That's the society the way it is. But my thing is, I've learned my advice to everything in planning a trip, like going away for a couple of days or going away for a week, is you got to plan it and budget for it. My tips of planning is, if you're gonna plan a few days off or some time off, you just got to plan it way ahead and just book it and lock it in. Once your approval of the annual leave is locked in, or you have that, those 3 days are blocked out for a holiday. Once you get approval, book the holiday. Don't wait. Because if you wait, you don't go. And I've learned from experience doing that. I've gone, I've got the time off, and then something else always comes up. From my previous, the last experience of 2 times trying to go away with the kids, we've had emergencies and also sickness. that's unavoidable. But they were both booked and we both had to be cancelled early, or we didn't go, and that's understandable. Full respect to my kids who, processed it really well for 2 8-year-olds who were super excited to go away. But my number one thing I've noticed is you can take your time off, talk about it, but sometimes when it comes to booking it, planning it, it gets done last minute, and to the point where last minute it just gets cancelled. Alternative, easier solution. My advice is have a look at what you're going to do and plan it. So I would recommend, as soon as it's loaded in, have a place locked in to go. If your friends are talking about going away, be engaged in the conversation and book it with them. We go away every year and we all have a group chat. We all negotiate a date. We will lock in a date and then we just book it. It'll take the one who's got the most critical timetable to say, yeah, I can do it, and we'll just go accordingly. Or I go, in my case, I go the weekend, I have the kids, so we don't miss out. I don't have to worry about alternative weekends, whatnot. But the thing is, locking it in just gives you something to look forward to. Gives something the kids to look forward to. Like, I can tell my kids now, we're going away in X amount of months. We're going on this trip. I've already booked it. Like, we're going to Montana with the 4x4 brothers in February. I've already told them. I remember COVID days where I couldn't tell them unless we were leaving because, they locked us down within hours. They had the power to do that. They still do, but they wouldn't stop us now. But now, it's different. They've matured. From the ages of 3 to the ages of 8 has been a massive journey. But locking it in, knowing what you're doing, and knowing the activities, you can plan accordingly. So if you're going to a river and you want to float down the river, go to Kmart and buy a floating couple of donuts in the boat. You can start speaking to friends and saying, hey, I'm bringing up my stove. You bring your barbecue. Can we share the utilities together to save some weight? If there's an activity, say there's a zoo or something, you can start an itinerary, especially with kids kids that are sensitive and need some structure. The best thing you can do is create a schedule with them. Bring a diary or even bring a whiteboard in the car or something. A piece of paper that shows you your schedule. I've found that with my kids. I've done a schedule with them. Like, this is what we're doing. This is when we're driving up. This is when we're supposed to get here. I've allowed some time for breaks. I've allowed time to check in and set up the tent. But this is the schedule, rough schedule, what we're doing. And there's no guessing games. It's like, oh, cool, Dad. No worries. That's the second thing is, create a schedule. If you have limited time, create a schedule of, this is what we're going to do at certain times. You could be own a Sparky business or be self-employed or have a business to run. You may need to work for an hour or two while you're away. You can allow time to say, hey, kids, we're going to do this quiet time in the rec room at a caravan park. Dad needs to work for an hour on the computer just to check up on his workers. Like, that's a reality. There's nothing wrong with that. But creating a schedule from the start of the trip to the end of the trip, just even a rough one, gives them the idea of, it it reduces the risk of, I'm bored, what are we doing now? Like, 2 o'clock, Dad, we said we're going to go play mini golf, or, today we're going to go have a look at this waterfall. I've been doing it a lot more. Like, I even do it day to day at home. Like, we write a schedule of what we're doing on the weekend. We even write down what food we're going to have. There's no guessing game. There's no meltdowns. There's, even helping me with the shopping list. So they see what's in the shopping bag and go, all right, cool. This is what we're buying to make pizzas on the barbecue. This is what we're going to be having with our sausages, Dad, don't forget to put some more veggies in. A schedule comes down to also creating a shopping list, a checklist. And yes, I have been banging on that I'm going to make one, and I haven't yet for the site. I'm going to do it as soon as possible. I'm going to try to do it before Christmas. So yeah, you'll see that coming out very soon. It's a bit of a shopping list of what, just a bit of a check-off list to say milk, bread, and all that stuff. Even first aid kits. I'm working on a few different things, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I want to do it properly. It's something you can have and upload into your phone and do a checklist when you go camping. Even a checklist of what stuff to bring in the car. Even like I don't have a camper, but the basic servicings of a camper, check the bolts, check the bearings, check the grease in the bearings. There's so many things you can check. But having a checklist for food, having a menu, having a schedule is quite critical to maximize the time you have and the limited time you possibly have to go away with your family. So my other tip is, have a shopping list, have a checklist, tick it all off, check it twice, even get the kids to overcheck it. There may be something they want to contribute it to. We've gone from bringing heaps of Legos and colouring books and stuff camping to a couple of crossword books, some activities to do, with other kids, arts and craft that, it's easy and mobile to bring, but also easy to bring home the creation, because you don't want to bring fragile creations home when the car is fully loaded. So having a schedule like that helps. The other thing is, it comes down to it does come down to the cost of living, finances. Having enough money to go away. What I've learned is also having enough money to, in event of an emergency of towing, getting the car fixed. You might do an alternator. Something might happen to the car. You might need $1,000 in the emergency fund to fix something on the spot. Anything can occur, no matter how good you service a car and do whatever. The towing. Look up your RAC. If you've got roadside assistance, see your policy on towing. I've upped my towing policy from like 10Ks the nearest town to 120Ks. Yes, it is $180 a year with RACV roadside compared to the 120 for the 10Ks towing. But I've got that extra insurance of, if I'm towing, if I've got the kids, I'm sorted. There's that backup of I get that extra towing and not have to pay an arm and a leg to go to the nearest mechanic or even home. Also check your insurance, as well, just in case you're going off-road. There may be something in the covered and not covered. If you do something and you're not covered for off-roading, and that car is your bread and butter car and you can't afford it, you just got to review what you do. But back to finances, save money for food, save money for accommodation, extra activities, you may not want to cook one night. You might go to the pub for dinner. That can be $100 plus $120 for a family to go to the pub to have a few meals. You got to factor that in. I think the average shop when I go away is about $120 to $200, depending on how many days we go, and that's like snacks, meat, everything. Having the money to have an emergency. Say there's an emergency storm, you want to stay in a cabin one night. That's it's gone from $80 a night to possibly $200 a night. I'm just guessing. They're the things you just got to factor in. I would highly recommend, making sure you've got that bit of backup with the finances. I've done trips on the smell of an oily rag. I've sold stuff on my hucker place to go on a holiday. I can admit that. And you know what? That is awesome to do. Look at your garage. You might have like $300 of stuff you could put on Marketplace in there that you haven't touched. Put it on Marketplace. Put it towards a holiday. Even the kids save their money from the 10 cents a cans. I've got a full bag I've got $20 worth of cans sitting outside to take to the can recycling place to get some extra coin for the kids. That's sort of like they're spending money to when we go out. Even do that for yourself. So the whole, if you do 200 cans a month, times, you've got ample amount of money for a couple of trips of food, or even one trip of food and accommodation if you go for a couple of nights. I think, being swift like stuff like that is a bit of fun. It's a bit of challenge. Some people got disposable income, they have to worry about this conversation, but I'm trying to adapt to all my audience, and that comes down to equipment as well. Borrow stuff off people. Go with people with camping that you may have a gazebo, they may have a stove, you may not have a stove. Hey, why don't you put your stuff under our gazebo, and do you mind if I use your stove? Yeah, no worries, done. I've got a fridge. My friend has an esky. I put some of the stuff in his esky in my fridge because it was critical to keep cold. No worries. I had room. Easy. You got to be camp with people that are willing to share stuff with you. Even better, play meals together. If you've got two families, two kids each, hey, one night we'll cook spaghetti bolognese. I can't say spag bowl. And, you next night, you put the barbecue on. You split the bills between half. You got minimal waste. You got half the amount of time to cook. One family can watch the kids while they cook and vice versa. Like it, that saves a bit of time and money. My kids are in grade 3. They'll be finishing year 12 in 10 summers. I've got 10 summers left with them to go camping and do stuff to the age when they're 18 and want to go by themselves, or who knows, they may invite me. I don't know. That's probably one of my biggest aims in life to do is have my kids, hey, Dad, come camping with us. We're going this weekend. We're going X, Y, and Z. Yeah, no worries. I'll be there. Or, Dad, are you still going camping? We'd love to come with you. I think that'd be an awesome goal to have in life to, still want to go away with the kids and your kids want to go away with you. That'd be sick. That'd be fun. But, till then, if I've got 10 summers I can make the most of to spend with the kids, I want to try my best. And that means saving a little bit of money here and there doing that. A bit of wheeling, dealing on marketplace, sell something, make some money off it, flip it. Who knows? But, you just got to, if you're driven enough to do it and try, you'll do it. So, I know that's how I look at it in my personal opinion. The other thing is there's separated families. They've got to organise the time with what they've got with their ex-partner and share children. You got to communicate, send message, send locations, send dates, times, proposed times, possibly swap weekends. Like, you got to try your best there as well to communicate, be positive about it and amicable enough so you can, don't have to have an argument or, X, Y, and Z. Everyone's got a different situation. I understand. But, I think it's easy to be done if you have the drive to do so. I communicate pretty well and we've got a good system, but, everyone's different. I helped a few others in different circumstances, which is, private, but, it's... You just gotta try your best, because end of the day, the bigger picture is your kids want to go away, they want to have fun, and they want memories. Because, they will talk about, like I still talk about the trips I did when I was younger when we went to Queensland. It's cool. So yeah, that's a different situation with everybody. Even communicating with your partner in house, your wife or your partner, if they don't like camping or they do, you got to do activities that even send a schedule so they enjoy their time with the family as well. Or we have to even do it with the boys' trip. Like, we're leaving at this time, meet at this BP, whatever, and then meet there. Look, the rest can be, hey, we're looking at going here and there. This is the tracks that we're proposing. You're comfortable to take your car on there. If you're not, we'll leave your car at the bottom. We'll go on this track and we'll meet your car up there. There's so many different things, but it's just all about communication. And I think that can be done really well. So reach out if you want any help with that. I'm the honest one that will say, no, I'm not taking my car down there, or can we make it this weekend because X, Y, and Z? Like, I'm happy to voice out and then say nothing and then be cracking shits later and bitching about it to other people. Not my style. So happy to help others if they're stuck in a way they can't communicate with their friends or family in that matter. I actually put a questionnaire on my Instagram, and a couple of people actually asked me my questions, and I'm not even thought about it. I'm literally looking at it off my phone, talking to you on the microphone and thinking on the fly rather than having some narrated answer or, So it says, if you could change one thing in your Prado, what would it be? The engine. I would change the engine in a heartbeat. I'd love a V8 in it, or just the engine in it's a bit sluggish, does the job, but there'd be one thing of definitely the engine. The other thing I probably would add to it is a rear locker and a auto transmission cooler. If that was the fifth, I know you said one thing would change, but an engine's impossible. I might as well buy a 200 series or a 76. But if there's one thing I would change is I put in a rear diff locker on the car, so you can put less stress on the engine to go up certain tracks rather than have to go a bit harder, and transmission cooler because the transmission does get hot when you're full driving and driving it. That'd be the one. So off-road touring life, thank you for that. And then E&M L76 has asked me, what is your favourite accessory and least favourite accessory on the Prado? My favourite accessory is the rear door table by K-On, along with the top shelf I have in the boot by K-On as well, and the fridge. I know I said one, but screw it, I'm doing three. The fridge is just the most convenient thing I've ever put in the car. I just turn it on, put it on 2 degrees, put everything in it, and it's guaranteed to do what it needs to do. I've had it in there since 2018. It's never faltered once. I've got an Engel 40-litre upright fridge, no freeze. Oh, it's fridge freezer, but I just got the dedicated fridge. That thing has never failed. It's the one thing in that car I can turn on and have 100% confidence it's not going to break. It's that unbreakable. When I first bought it, I rooked it and I screwed up the wiring and pinched the wiring at the back of the fridge holder. And when the fridge was in open position on the fridge holder, it turned off. But when it closed, it turned on. So I kept it closed. I worked out later that the wiring had snipped at the back because it pinched on the fridge slide. And the fridge slide was acting as an earth, and it didn't blow. It blew a fuse in the fridge at the back. All I had to do was replace the fuse, put a tracker on the wiring so it didn't pinch again, and it's been faultless since. And I just fixed the wire. I got a new plug wire to go in the back of the car. But it was funny because even Engel replaced it under warranty, even when I told them that. So that was pretty cool. That's been faultless. I've had friends. They got different fridges and different setups where it stopped working or it's not done what it needs to do or overfrozen. That Engel fridge is literally, it's worth its bang for buck. It is the most confident thing I ever had in that car. And yes, that's probably my favorite accessory, along with the table and the back door with the shelf on top by K-On. I can drop that table and make food anywhere I want. And then the top shelf, I put everything up there, like pillows and stuff that I don't have to move out of the way in order when I'm forward driving. My least favorite accessory in that car, I've got these 2 rear floodlights at the back of my car that I originally wanted to have on when I reversed, or have on to have some extra light at the back if I was hitching up a camper trailer. I legitimately barely use it. It's probably one of the funniest, the hardest accessories to wire up to the car at the time. It was a learning curve for myself. It's probably my least favorite because I never use it, and I just feel useless sometimes because I don't need it. I might put those lights on the side underneath the awning, so when I go to campsites, I have some adequate lighting underneath my awning. But to be honest, I'm just going to leave it. I've probably used the lights once or twice, but they're steady reverse globes that I've changed in the taillights are super, super bright, where those top lights don't really do much. The other thing is the Prado has like a bit of a wing at the back, like a spoiler at the back window, and lights shade themselves on it, and they don't really do much. So probably something that looks cool from the back, it looks functional, but really, honestly, is not functional. So yeah, they're the 2 questions I was asked. I appreciate that. So thank you. Thank you very much. So moving forward, 2 weeks to Christmas. I think everyone's going to be smashing work out to Christmas. I finish just before Christmas. Can't wait to spend time with the kids. I'm off to the 5th, so I have not made exact plans what we're doing yet. I know we're probably going to do a night away in the city to make up for the time we didn't go. We're going camping in February, but I don't like to go camping in January too much, as I like to go 2-3 nights and people want 4-5 night minimum, which is a pain in the butt and very expensive. And number 2, it's just crowded. I hate crowds sometimes. I think being quiet in an area is so much better. So sometimes we just ride out summer, go to the beach, go and do day activities. But then, when everyone's back at work, say the later end of January, that's been the money shot to go. Even mid-January, there's less people. So I really enjoy that. It's just a matter how much time I have after our venue leave time off after the Christmas holiday, the standard shutdown. So I'll work through that. I'll report back to you guys. So I don't think I'm going to do another recording before Christmas. So everyone have a safe Christmas. I hope my tips work for you to help go away. I'm just going to enjoy the summer while it's lasting. It's nice and warm out here. Finally, we're getting summer in Melbourne. It's been bloody cold lately. I know Queensland have had 40 degree plus days as well as New South Wales. So everybody have a safe Christmas. Enjoy the time together. Put those phones down. Listen to this podcast. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, YouTube. Give it a like and subscribe because it's growing progressively. I need to put more time into it, so I'm trying my best, but at the same time, like you guys, busy. So have a great Christmas. Stay safe on the roads. Look out for one another. Have fun. Stay hydrated and take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Bye.